you have done something no other team has done, which is go up on 3-1 on the Clippers in a playoff series.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about 3-1.
This
Got a
postseason.
good experience with that.
I understand.
Game 6 at the Staples Center was a pivotal game for both of these franchises. On the Los Angeles Clippers side, if they were to win this game at their home court, then they would be able to force a Game 7, shifting the momentum back to their favor because, of course, they won the previous 2 games. You add into the fact that Chris Paul's a bit traumatized from the last time he blew a 3-1 series lead, and, well, it just makes things that much sweeter for the Los Angeles Clippers. And on the Phoenix Suns perspective, they need to do whatever it takes to make it to the NBA Finals because this is probably their best chance to ever win a NBA championship. That's not taking away anything from the Phoenix Suns, but I don't think it gets any easier than a postseason that features this many All-Stars being injured. So what's going on, guys? Your boy Mike here. Real quick before we get to the content, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm giving away a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. All you have to do is subscribe and turn on our notifications on this channel. We're also doing the same giveaway on my Laced Up podcast channel if you subscribe and turn on our notifications there. But since it's taken us a while to get to the 40,000 subscriber goal, I figured I'd do the same giveaway here and set a time limit for it to end at the beginning of August. Now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? The storyline for both of these teams is nothing short of amazing. Let's start with the Los Angeles Clippers because, well, I know Clipper fans really want to hear a Laker fan praise their team, so here it is. At the beginning of the season, when the Los Angeles Clippers hired Tyronn Lue, I said they made an egregious mistake. However, I did say that they made some remarkable offseason transactions. Letting Montrezl Harrell walk despite winning the 6th Man of the Year award was a very bold move at that. Signing Serge Ibaka and reuniting him with Kawhi Leonard was definitely a more savvy move. Trading for Luke Kennard and then extending him and paying him as much as Marcus Morris is being paid, I understand the reasoning behind it. They wanted to add shooting, but so far I guess we could all agree that it didn't necessarily work out. And then the cream of the crop of all of these moves was the fact that the Los Angeles Clippers opted to promote Tyronn Lue from assistant coach all the way to head coach, something that Doc Rivers actually was in favor of. And at the time, I'm going to hold myself accountable for this, I actually thought it was a horrible move. I had this idea that Tyronn Lue wasn't a coach that was necessarily capable of making adjustments. He was a coach that was carried by LeBron James in 2016 to an NBA championship. That's why his name was even considered to be a head coaching hire. I did think he was remarkable at managing personalities, but apart from that, I didn't think this was what the Los Angeles Clippers needed. And boy, was I wrong. When Kawhi Leonard went out with an ACL injury against the Utah Jazz, I figured that his series was collectively over. Bear in mind, this happened in Game 4 against the Utah Jazz. The Clippers were down 2-1 in this series at that point, and it was Tyronn Lue's coaching and his ability to make these adjustments that got the Los Angeles Clippers out of the hole that they were in. I would have never imagined that the Los Angeles Clippers were able to even make it to the Western Conference Finals on the back of Paul George, Patrick Beverley, and Marcus Morris. And to be honest, the fact that they were able to get the right guy for the job, a man that literally came in and adjusted to each and every team properly, wasn't afraid to be bold and utilize zone schemes on the defensive end, wasn't afraid to go small ball on the Utah Jazz, wasn't afraid to allow Terrence Mann to be a leading scorer in Game 6 against the Utah Jazz, should have the Los Angeles Clippers feeling good about themselves moving forward, because this is a team that nailed their coaching hiring. And what's even more promising is, if you remember, there was a narrative in the very first round of the NBA playoffs where I said, hey, if the Los Angeles Clippers happen to lose to the Dallas Mavericks in the first round, I think their odds of being able to retain Kawhi Leonard might be slim to none. I actually felt like they would be doomed. and that Kawhi Leonard may even jump ship and either go to Miami or the Golden State Warriors. But when you're Kawhi Leonard and you see that you went down with an ACL injury, then you see your entire team pick up the slack, your head coach making the adjustments that he did, Paul George getting his confidence back as a superstar player after completely losing it as Pandemic P a year ago, you should feel nothing but confident moving forward. It's unfortunate because I feel like if Kawhi Leonard was healthy, this was the year that the Los Angeles Clippers would have won an NBA championship. But the good news is, I believe that the Los Angeles Clippers are going to build upon this success next year and could potentially be a favorite to be the top seed in the Western Conference for the playoffs the year after. Needless to say, if there was a best case scenario for the Los Angeles Clippers, apart from winning an NBA championship, I would say that this would be the scenario. Kawhi Leonard goes down with an injury, the rest of the team plays together, the locker room is in harmony, and it seems like next year they're going to be fantastic. Then you have the Phoenix Suns, and honestly, if you're a fan of basketball, or if you happen to be a fan of the 2009 to 2010 New Orleans Hornets that featured Chris Paul and Monty Williams as the head coach and point guard pairing, then you have to be excited for Chris Paul. For the very first time in his career, the man finally has made it to the NBA Finals, and I want to go ahead and praise Chris Paul even further, because once things didn't work out for him as a Houston Rocket, many people were expecting him to take a buyout and sign with a contender for a veteran minimum contract. That's how low his value has fallen. He ended up going to the OKC Thunder for a year, rehabilitated his value, Sam Presti sent him where he wanted to go, and was able to give the surging Phoenix Suns that featured the likes of DeAndre Ayton, Dario Saric, Devin Booker, added a great piece in Jay Crowder, the veteran presence that was necessary for them to take the next step and be legitimate Western Conference champions. Not only that, but this was his final year on his contract or on his player option, and he could now opt out and sign a 3-year, $100 million contract to the age of 37. I don't think there's a more masterful way or a better way to navigate one's career than the way Chris Paul has just navigated his own career. And to be honest, I'm hoping nothing happens to him, at least nothing worse than a Patrick Beverley cheap shot, and that he's able to take the Phoenix Suns all the way to win a NBA championship. If you're a Phoenix Suns fan, I want to congratulate you, because not only does the team look phenomenal this year, but they're a fairly young team. DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker are young superstars that could be built around for the future. And to be honest, I expect them to be even better next year. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this. If you're a Clipper fan, how are you feeling about your team? If you're a Phoenix Suns fan, how does it feel to make it to the NBA Finals? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.